Aether Spike, 2 mana, choose target spell, you get 2 energy. Then you may pay any amount of energy. Counter that spell unless its controller pays 1 mana for each energy spent this way. Or paid this way. Card's great. I love this. Aether Spike. Is it better than Counterspell? Generally, no. But it's more versatile. It's more splashable. We'll see. I keep forgetting that expressive iteration is still legal in this format too. So, I mean, there's plenty of blue decks, control decks that exist and will exist. Amphibian Downpour, 3 mana, enchantment aura, flash storm, enchant creature. They lose all abilities and they're a frog. That's cool. I really like this card. At worst case, you're turning 2 things into froggies. Or no, I guess 1 thing into froggies. Unless there was a spell in the stack. But it's got flash. So I imagine what happens is you do this in response to like a spell. Bada bing, bada boom. Froggies. Easy peasy. You always get to choose. Yeah, it's never just going to be a 1/1 unless you choose it to just be... Sorry, it's never just going to be 1 frog unless you choose it to just be 1 frog. So you can always do anything else other than cast it. We have a Bespoke Battle Wagon. This is a 4 mana 5/6 artifact vehicle. You can tap it. You get 2 energy. You can tap it. You can pay 2 energy. Tap target creature. You can tap it. Pay 3. Draw a card. You can pay 4 without tapping it. It becomes a vehicle, and you can crew for 4. See, this is what I was saying. This shit right here is the reason why I believe that this is feeding into some of the content coming starting next winter, because this is an energy generator. It's a vehicle. We're gonna have more. They're gonna make more of these. It only makes sense. See, Brain Surge, 3 mana, instant, draw 4, put 2 back on top in any order. Cool. Brainstorm finally has made its way here. It's a little bit more expensive. I still think this is a pretty solid card, especially in a fetch land format, especially in a format that is a little bit more grindy. So excited to see this. Consigned to Memory, 1 mana, instant. You can replicate it for a colorless, counter target triggered ability, or colorless spell. I'm not excited to see this card here. I don't like that. It exists because it's just disgusting in terms of what it will enable in the future. Now, I don't want to. Scam is just going to get even more oppressive, and we're all just going to have to deal with it. So they banned the wrong elemental. I would expect a grief ban before October. When's the next set come out? Whenever the next after probably like October, November maybe. I would expect the grief ban, because they'll then have sold enough MH3 special copies to have deemed it financially worth it. Anyway, don't clip it, don't ship it. Next up, Copy Crook, 4 mana, ETBs as a copy of any creature on a battlefield, except it has, whenever this attacks, it connives. The best hiding place are other people. Yep. Hide in me, please. Corrupted Shapeshifter, 4 mana. Sorry. Devoid. EDBs, it becomes your choice of a 3/3 with flying, a 2/5 with vigilance, or an 0/12 creature with defender. Within its body, 3 lineages, ward for supremacy. Poggers. Very cool. I mean, a 4 mana 3/3 flyer is nothing to trifle with. Although we're going to see... Oh no, this isn't a flyer, so never mind. It just looks like it's flying. We have Demon Fear. This is a 4 mana sorcery. It costs 1 less to cast for each card you've drawn this turn. The owner of target non-land permanent puts it into their library second from the top or on the bottom. So 2 cards deep. It's essentially, you can make this essentially a 1 mana put it 2 deep. which is pretty good. Depth Defiler, 5 mana, 3/5, devoid, kicker, colorless. When you cast a spell, choose one. If it was kicked, choose both. Return target creature to its owner's hand, and target player draws 2 cards, then discards a card. That's great. Love this. Love, love, love. Sweet draft chef almighty. Now we have the Dreamtide Whale, 7/5, vanishing to Whale for 3. We have a 7/5 Whale for 3. Whenever a player casts their second spell each turn, proliferate. So, does this whale vanish? Maybe not. But it's definitely cool. Let's see. We have an Electrozoza. It's a 3 mana, 3/1 flash, flying. ETBs, you get 2 energy. At the beginning of combat, at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you tap it unless you pay an energy. This card's great. I don't see why you wouldn't play this in a limited deck. So, let's see what Emrakul's Messenger has for us here. Oh, shit. Wait. She's hot. Oh, no. She's hot. Oh, no. She's hot. Nice. Well, what was I talking about? Anyway, it's a 2 mana, 2/1 devoid, flying. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, create an 0/1 colorless Eldrazi spawn token. Cool. Flare of Denial, 3 mana, or you may sack a non-token blue creature, counter target spell. Sign me up. This card's cracked. I want this every day of my life with Snapcaster Mage. Please. And you don't have to do it from, it doesn't have to be from the hand. You can just sack as alternate cost. So Snapcaster plus Flare of Denial, holding hands. We have the Harbinger of the Seas. Let's go. Blue Moon in effect. Ayo. Non-basic lands are island. That's it. GG. We got blood and we got blue. That doesn't work from the grave, does it? Well, you may sacrifice a non-token blue creature rather than pay the spell's mana cost. No, it definitely works from the grave. Now, Force of Will doesn't work from the grave because that's, you may exile a card from your hand as you do this or some shiz. Hold up. So there's let me pull this up. So yeah, you may pay 1, exile a card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Wait, maybe you can't do the alternate cast from the graveyard. Because then you would be able to do this if you could. Yeah, I don't think that you can, maybe. Whatever. Is what it is. Yeah, not the flares. That's right. Oh, it gives flashback equal to its mana cost. All right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's equal to the mana cost. What's up, Steez? Salute. Glad you're still here, brother. Bonjour. Bonjour to you as well. Thank you for the first time chatting. 12, 24. All right. Yeah, I mean, almost 3 years of forgetting how to turn this off. I feel that. I forget a lot of things. Like, how do I turn off my mind? I wish I could. Thank you for being here for as long as you have, Steez. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, it gives it flashback. You're right. Silly me. Disregard everything I said about Flare of Denial being cracked. It's dog. Terrible card. Don't play it. Don't buy this card. Avoid flare denial, please. Let it be cheap for me so that I can buy every copy of Flare Denial. It's sick. Is Blue-White Control going to turn into a creatures type style deck? I think that Blue-White Control will always exist with the bare number of win cons possible. I do think that there will be more space for the creature-oriented decks to flourish. I think we're going to see Return in Spirits being very popular, especially with how convenient it is to like suit up a Siren Storm Tamer or the Shacklegeist or any of those homies. Snap is Snap is insane. Snapcaster Mage is so. Unless you're saying Snap like Snap the 2-drop, what was it? This, which it's pretty much just the same thing because it's just free mana XD. Actually, Snap could be good with Snapcaster Mage. That's right. I said it here. Speaking of Flash, Hope-Ender Codal has Flash. This is a 3-mana 2/2 with flying and a void. And when you cast a spell, you counter a target spell and opponent controls unless they pay 1. Let's look at this little ugly F word right now. The F word was foul because it's a bird. Although I don't like this. I don't like this monster at all. This is gross. I do like this feather with the border and the break of the feathers in the border. I think that's cool. I also really like the devoid border too. Cool card. Hope-Ender Codal. Kozilek's Uprising. Kozilek's Unsealing. This is a 3-mana enchantment. Devoid. Whenever you cast a creature spell with mana 4, 5, or 6, create 2/01 Eldrazi spawns. And then whenever you cast a creature spell with mana value 7 or greater, draw 3 cards. This is really good. This is insane in a affinity deck. Because your Frogmites now net you 2 mana. Your Enforcers are drawing cards. Your Thought Monitor is drawing 5. What the heck? Hey, yeah, that's 1 mana 2/2 flyer, draw 5. Seems good. Seems good. Petrifying Meddler, 5 mana 4/5. Devoid. When you cast this, step up to 1 target creature, put a spawn counter on it with reach. That's cool. I think Affinity will fit. I think Affinity will just struggle to fit all top end cards they want now. I agree. I think that that's something that I had actually discussed with Onzid and Dingo. That trying to do affinity builds now is going to be so hard just because the amount and card quality of these artifacts is just so cracked nowadays. With this, especially with this set, to create like the best 75 in whatever color combination you want to do is going to be near impossible. And also in the same regard, I think most of these cards that we're seeing, they do a lot, right? And we're going to start seeing a lot of really powerful cards that all do a lot, and you just have to find how you can mix and match to optimize your own style of gameplay rather than here's Fable of the Mirror Breaker, Fury, beans, right? Like, we're going to be entering an era of Magic within, I would say, as long as well, Magic's going to continue even if the Marvel set doesn't do well. But if the Marvel set doesn't do well, that will be the nail in the coffin for Magic not being long for too much further as a game, because they're putting a lot of money into that. But we're going to be entering into an era which is we went from like the collectible era to the game piece era, and now we're going to be moving into the deck builder era, where just since the card pool is so much stronger than it was and so vast, we are returning to the ideals of Garfield, where of Garfield's ideas of how Magic should be played, where you see somebody playing something sick that you've not seen before just because there's so much stuff, and like if Magic was so much less optimized back then, but now you're going to be able to optimize it while also having your own themes that you want to explore. So very excited to see what happens with it. Yeah, 1 mana flying 2/2 draw 5 Ancestral Recall. Who? If only you could flash it back. 80 card Affinity. Give me Yorion back. This is the real Affinity is the real reason why they banned Yorion. Because if you look at how the colors have been for the Affinity decks, it's got the blue base. Yorion is insane with every single Affinity card. It's just so goddamn good. Why would you not just be playing 80 card Affinity? You're onto something, Retract. The commanderification of 60 card formats, let's go. I'm okay with that. As long as the gameplay is good, I'm happy with that. Because self-expression is all that matters in everything. In terms of hobbies. Self-expression in other areas doesn't really work so well. But in hobbies and other spaces like this, it's another art form. Deck crafters are poets, essentially. So excited to see what happens. Less excited to see if things flop. Let's see what this Royal Cartographer is about. 2 mana 1/3. When a land enters the battlefield under your control, you get an energy. You can tap it, pay 6 energy, draw 3. I would much rather tap 1 mana, draw 5, and get a 2/2 flyer. But that's me. Sage of the Unknowable, 2 mana 0/4. You can tap, add colorless. Spend this only to cast a color spell or to activate an ability. Serum Visionary, 3 mana 2/2. ETBs, draw a card, then scry 2. Oh, cool. Serum Vision on a body. Shadow of the Second Sun, 6 mana enchantment, aura. Enchant player. At the beginning of Enchanted Player's post-combat main phase, there's an additional beginning phase after this phase. At the beginning of Enchanted Player's post-combat main phase, there's an additional beginning phase after this phase. The end step happens after the added untap, upkeep, and draw steps. Okay. So, you go pre-combat, go through combat, post-combat, trigger. They're going to have untap, upkeep, draw, end step. Okay. Bam. Cool. Strict Serenade. 1 blue. Character, artifact, creature, or planeswalker spell. Its controller creates a 2/2 blue bird. Some birds sing to nature's beauty and the freedom of the skies. Others simply ask questions. So we now have all types of spells able to be countered with birds. Very cool. Tamiya meets the Story Circle. 2 mana enchantment, Saga. Until your next turn, whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, it gets -2 until end of turn. Discard any number of cards, then investigate twice for each card discarded. Shuffle up to 3 cards from your graveyard into your library. Interesting. What fucking bird is asking questions? Owls? That's it for me. And Kabuki Pikachu decided today was the last day for him after that joke. So that's tough, man. I should be more conscientious of Kabuki Pikachu in the future. Tempest Harvester, 2 mana, 2/1. ETBs get 2 energy. You can pay 1 and tap it to draw a card, discard a card. Cool card. Triton Wavebreaker, 1 mana, 1/1 with bestow for 2. As long as this creature has prowess, and it gives prowess +1/+1 as well. Tune the narrative, 1 blue, draw a card to get 2 energy. Eugene's Binding. 3 mana, instant, devoid. Return target non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. Okay. Whenever you cast a colorless spell with mana value 7 or greater, you may exile Eugene's Binding from your graveyard. When you do, return each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. So, Cyclonic Rift. Jesus Christ, this card's insane. I don't think this card's okay. I really don't think this card's okay. Mono Blue Tron is going to be a fucking nightmare. Pardon my French. That's an issue. Cast a color spell with 7 or greater, exile it from your graveyard. When you do, return each non-land permanent you don't control to its owner's hand. For free? The only downside is I gotta be playing Mono Blue Tron. That's a big downside. Maybe the downside on Eugene's Binding is high enough. Maybe it's too stark. Yeah, I don't know. This card might be an issue, it might be nothing. I'm gonna hedge toward it being an issue. So I'm a forward-thinking guy, and I think this is a problematic card. You can't put free Cyclonic Rift onto your spells. That you're playing this anyway. Instead of playing a Brazen Borrower, your emotional support Brazen Borrower, you're like, I'm tired of these raisins. Let me get some riffs. You know what I'm saying? Let's bind that bee. Yeah, this card's insane. All right, Unfathomable Truths. 5 mana, devoid. Draw 3, create an 0/1. Sick. Cool card. Utter Insignificance. 2 mana, flash, enchant creature, lose all abilities, base power, toughness 1/1. Exile it for tree. What the fuck? I used to think my life was meaningless. Now I know for certain. True! It turns into 1/1 exiled. Bye! All because Ulamog and Kozlik said no. Alright, Volatile Stormdrake. 2 mana, 3/2. Flying, hexproof from activated and triggered abilities. Okay. When an ETB is exchanged control of it, and target creature and opponent controls. If you do, you get 4 energy. Then sack that creature unless you pay an amount equal to its mana value. This card's really good. Unfortunately, it has protection against itself, triggered abilities. So you can't like Volatile Stormdrake to Volatile Stormdrake, you know? Because you can't target it. Next up, we have Nicholas Marauder. Who doesn't like another sacrifice effect? This guy's going straight into my Negan deck.